Hello, everybody. Today we are going to review the movie Sweet Girl, which actually just came out on Netflix not too long ago, and I will definitely be adding this to my November list as action movies. So this is starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, who played Dora in Dora the Explorer, which is actually her picture in this movie too. And they play Ray Cooper and Rachel Cooper, and his wife was played by Adria Arjona, and she was Amanda Cooper. So this is about a man and his daughter who lose their mother and I guess wife to cancer. So we actually start out with a very suspenseful scene with Jason Momoa standing on top of some sort of roof. We're not really sure what it is. And these cops are after him. And the one cop is saying to him, come here, I can help you, such and such. And he said it wasn't supposed to play out like this or be like this. And he jumps off of the roof into the water. And it looks like a pretty big drop from what I could see. So, yeah, crazy start to the movie. And then I believe it goes back to 3 years prior to that incident. And we get to see his wife and his daughter with him. They seem to be on some sort of camping trip. They seem like a pretty tight-knit family, very close. And throughout the movie, it shows his daughter, him training with his daughter. I guess don't know whether she's planning on being some sort of fighter, or whether he's just kind of like showing her the ways of self-defense and trying to help her be stronger in life in a certain way. I guess that kind of teaches you discipline and stuff too, when you're training for fighting and certain things, just to also helps with self-defense too, right? To certain things, I guess he wants to, when he goes, his daughter can defend herself as well in any certain situation. So then we're introduced to Big Pharma, and I believe it was Biogen or Biotech that was mentioned in this film, because I had to actually look it up to remember the name of them, but Big Pharma, and so his wife ends up getting cancer, and during this flashback, and unfortunately she does pass away from it. So this one kind of hit home for me a little bit, because it does. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, in 2009, I wouldn't say it was quite as advanced, but I did lose my papa to cancer in 2009, so I could definitely feel the pain of losing somebody to something that could have maybe been helped even back then. Who knows? We're not really sure, but I would say now, definitely pharmaceutical companies make it hard for the average person to afford certain medications, I guess, for certain ailments, including cancer. Like, I know there's treatments and stuff like chemo and certain things, and there's always ways to, I guess, slow it down, and hopefully you're able to get the cancer out of your body before it spreads too quickly, and so on and so forth. But I mean, it's definitely definitely one that's harder to deal with, for sure, I guess, as far as sicknesses and I guess diseases and ailments go. I don't know what other way to word it. So she does end up losing her life, and then he sees this huge interview on the TV with this guy who seems to be the face of Big Pharma and this biotech or Biogen company, who is played by Justin Bartha, Simon Keeley. So he goes after, well, actually, he just says to him on the radio, or I guess over the phone on the TV, he says that if his wife dies to cancer, he'll find him and kill him with his bare hands. And then obviously his wife passes away. So now he's on this mission to find out as much information as he can about them. He gets this call from this guy named Martin Bennett, who was played by Nelson Franklin, who I've seen on some other shows. I guess New Girl was the other one that I saw him on, yeah. He was in it for quite some time. Unfortunately, they obviously have somebody after him because he's getting way too deep into what they want. And he gets killed on the train, and unfortunately the byproduct of that is Ray getting into the middle of it with this assassin that was sent after, what was it, Martin? Yeah, who was sent after Martin to kill him, and he was played by Manuel Garcia Rolfo, who played Amos Santos. We'll just call him Amos. So it looks like Ray gets kind of hurt in the situation and gets thrown to the train. His daughter had followed him and really wasn't supposed to, so obviously he's trying to protect her at the same time as find out who this guy is and why he was sent there to kill Martin. And then it kind of flashes forward. I can't remember exactly the time period, but it seems like so Ray has recovered, and now he is protecting his daughter from, I guess he isn't really protecting her yet because there's nothing really to protect her from, but he has decided to definitely go after the Simon guy from the beginning. And he does end up finding him and taking out his security guards, and then killing him in the process. And then when he gets back to the apartment or whatever, he tells he tells Rachel that they got to pack up and go. So they are trying to travel to Toronto, but on the way, obviously, they have people sent after them, and things just keep kind of piling up. They are from Pittsburgh, so now this assassin, Amos, is after them. And they are trying to find out who was all behind the, I guess, price jack-up of this drug that could have potentially saved his wife from dying in the very beginning of the movie. And it seems that Ray will stop at nothing to find out who this was, even though he has to kill some people in the process. He's obviously doing it to protect his daughter and to get answers, right? He wants answers. So it's kind of like a movie of how far would you go for your family in order to, I guess, uncover the truth. This was definitely a suspenseful movie, because we don't really know much about Ray's background besides the fact that he's just a father. I would say we know more about the daughter because we kind of see her train a little bit and so on and so forth. So we kind of know she has a definite background in self-defense. So we know she can hold her own too, right? And I'm assuming Ray was kind of brought up that same way. So we kind of have a feeling that he knows how to fight, which is shown throughout the film, obviously. And Jason Momoa is just a huge dude anyway, so you kind of expect that with the with a bigger guy that he's going to have at least some sort of, I guess, wherewithal to have some sort of self-defense, even though he's a big dude. You're not just going to be able to punch your way out of every situation. You're going to have some sort of, fighting background. So there's a scene in the hotel where he ends up taking out two guys, and then he grabs a gun and takes it with him. And the whole entire time this is happening, Rachel's on the phone with this FBI detective, Sarah Meeker, who was played by Lex Scott Davis, and her partner, John Rothman, was played by Michael Raymond, and they cut out his last name for whatever reason. Michael Raymond James. I was going to go with James, but anyway, I'm glad I clicked on that just to see, just in case I screwed it up. But so anyhow, they're trying to put the pieces together and find Ray and Rachel. And they do end up finding them after they have their little run-in with Amos on the bridge, and they end up heading back to Pennsylvania after Amos gives them the name of the person who was responsible for, I guess, or was the head of everything that was happening. What was her name? I guess this must be her here. Diana Morgan, played by Amy Brenneman. So she's running for, was it mayor of Pittsburgh? Something political she's running for anyway. And so we get to the football stadium scene, I guess, where Ray is running away from the police. And so this whole entire time, Rachel has been talking to this FBI agent about her father. She doesn't know how far he's going to go, so on and so forth. And she wants to be able to protect him in her own way, but she doesn't want him to be brought in or killed in the process. She says he's a good man, look into all these other people, and I think you'll find that he's doing the right thing. So then they come back into Pittsburgh, and that's when they get caught. So I'm not really sure. It's kind of a weird scene because it shows, it just shows Ray in this scene all of a sudden, and the daughter seems to be gone, and you're kind of thinking, well, he must have told his daughter to go another way, and then that way she doesn't get caught, and she can kind of go on and live her life in case he does get taken away. And it shows a little bunny in the seat that she talked about her mother giving her because she couldn't have a pet. So her mother gave her this stuffed bunny, and I can't remember the name of it, but she gave her that because she was always looking out for her, so on and so forth. So she gave her that instead of, I guess, a pet because they couldn't afford it due to her mom's treatments. So that was kind of sad and sweet at the same time. And you could definitely feel the connection between Ray and Rachel, even though there is some tension in the relationship, obviously because of the lengths Ray is going to find the truth, and I guess he feels like once he finds the truth, everything will be better. So they do have this little, yeah, I already talked about that. Sorry, the restaurant scene where Amos tells them where to go to find this woman. So yeah, we get to the football stadium scene. Ray climbs up on the roof, and then the one thing that the FBI agent kept telling Rachel throughout the movie, so Sarah keeps telling her to, repeat her name, and keeps saying that she's in control, which I found kind of odd, but I guess in a sense, if she feels like she's in control, she can kind of talk her dad out of some certain situations, I suppose, which doesn't always work in her favor, but, I mean, I guess it did stop Ray from killing a couple people, that's for sure, because there could have been some scenes with some unnecessary death and blood on his hands that didn't need to happen. So I guess she was kind of like his, I don't know. She was kind of his protector as much as he was her protector. I guess that's the best way of putting it. So we get up onto the roof scene with Sarah saying that to her, say your name, and then all of a sudden we realize she's talking about the bunny and so on and so forth, and then all of a sudden it just flashes and boom, it's just Rachel standing there. And it's like, oh my god. So then it goes back to all the scenes. I got chills during that. So it goes back to all the scenes because I did not see that twist coming at all. Big shocker to me, and my eyes were glued to the screen the entire time, so I didn't even pick up on that. The fact that it would have just been Rachel by herself, and she was just picturing her dad being there with her by her side the entire time, which is just nuts. So turns out she's killed all these people. She's been on the pathway. She faced Amos the first time. So yeah, she's only 18 years of age. So it's actually her that jumps off of the roof. of the football stadium and into the water. And so then she gets taken out of the water, put into the ambulance, and then she goes and finds this congresswoman, I guess. The woman was running for Congress. So she goes and finds Diana to get the confession out of her that she hired the hit on Martin, and her dad died in the process, that she jacked up the prices of the drug, even though she said that she was trying to lower the prices, which I don't find very true. And she was working with the CDC in this movie, so it kind of makes you wonder how much of a money grab all this stuff really is for them, because they make it unaffordable for middle class and lower class families, and it seems only the richest of the rich can, really benefit and afford, I guess, from the best of the best, which sucks because it should be more affordable to the general public as well. And not just people with millions of dollars should be able to afford, life-saving medicines. Yeah, it's just become a huge money grab, in my opinion, as to all of that. So, anyhow, I guess that's kind of my little rant on the whole big pharma and stuff. I think it's definitely worse in the States, I would say, than probably in Canada where I am, but I mean, it's still not the best in Canada as far as that goes, for us to get medication. I know healthcare is free for the most part, but not every medication is free. So it's still a slippery slope as far as pricing goes. But anyhow, so she's able to fight her way out of the ambulance and then find this congresswoman and get the confession out of her. And she is able to send it to the FBI agent Sarah, and Sarah plays the clip, and it seems like she's on a plane somewhere, who knows, but I guess she did make it out of the States, so maybe she's actually traveling to Canada now. That could be. And she is able to kill Amos in the end scene, so at least it looked like she was about to die, because it looked like he had drowned her, and then you hear her father's voice, "Get up, sweet girl," and she gets out of the water and stabs him like 3 or 4 times, and it was just like, such an epic action scene at the very end, to kind of kill, I guess, the villain of the film, although he was just doing his job, protecting the people that he needed to, so I wouldn't really say he was necessarily a bad guy. He was just kind of collateral damage in the entire thing, just like everybody else who was after them, because they were getting paid to, I guess, keep everything covered up, I suppose, in a sense, because obviously they don't want that kind of information getting out, because it would definitely screw over the pharmaceutical companies if it did, right? So overall, this was actually a really good movie, and the twist, I didn't see it coming. I looked at another couple reviews after it, and I guess they kind of thought the twist wasn't enough to keep the film going, but I mean, it surprised the hell out of me. So yeah, hopefully everybody who wants to watch this movie will have seen it by November when I release this review, but I have to give it a 9 out of 10. It was an excellent movie. The action scenes were good. I wish they had have maybe told us a little bit more about Ray's background, unless I'm missing something, but I don't think we really got told too much about him. He kind of seemed like the mystery character in the movie, which, I mean, is okay, but I think that was the only downfall to the movie, maybe, was not really giving too much of a background story to him, other than just that he had a wife and a daughter, and I guess maybe that's because the daughter was supposed to be more the focus of the film. I suppose they were kind of building her character up a little bit more than his, so maybe they wanted to leave the mystery to his character, just to kind of, I guess, throw you off from the fact that the daughter was actually going to be the focus at the end of the movie, which they did a good job of, I would say. So yeah, so that would be the only downfall, I guess, to the movie, was that they didn't tell as much as they could have about his character. But I guess he wasn't even though he was like one of the main characters, I guess he wasn't the main character of the movie. So I was actually kind of surprised by that because I was expecting him to be the star of the show, and he wasn't. It ended up being Isabella instead of Jason. So Isabella was the actress's name, and Jason Momoa. Isabella Merced, I think. I think that's how you pronounce that. I don't know why I said Marcel. But anyhow, yeah, 9 out of 10 for this movie. And so, as always, like, share, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this film if you have seen it. And if not, I would say definitely go and watch it. And like always, like I'm always going to say at the end of these now, and form your own opinion of the film because you could be totally different. And I will say that IMDb gave it a 5.5. Oh, God, that seems really low. And I don't know. I don't think I'm being biased in this film because I haven't seen Isabella Merced in anything else besides the Dora the Explorer movie, which I will have to watch again because I think I missed a huge plot. I think I missed a huge bit of the plot in that movie, so I want to go back and watch it again before I do review it. But anyhow, that's it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.